views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of alltalkradio.net.
Mother Nature has the answer to all the things we need. It is in the purest waters which flow out to the sea. You will find it on the prairies, in the rich and fertile lands, and you will find abundance upon the desert sands. As we seek the magic potion that will help regain our youth, the chemistry of progress and its self-polluted truth.
Hey, we just want to welcome everybody to our Tuesday evening Zenus radio show. And tonight is going to be a jam-packed evening. We have a few things going on, and I am really excited to be talking about what we're going to be doing tonight. There are four of us in here this wonderful day, and we have Tim Connor, who we're going to be told he's going to talk about quantum touch. And then we have a couple of testimonials, because we know that some of you out there just don't believe when you hear all the great things that can happen. And so we got a couple of people here that will also be able to share their experience with working with Tim. So we're going to get right into it. And Tim, we're going to start with you, man. And I am so excited. When I really heard about all the things that you do, and today I just found out, thanks to Ken, that you were Mr. Nevada bodybuilder. I could tell by your body, but I didn't know that you really had to work that hard. That shows the level of discipline you had to have in your life. You're also a quantum touch practitioner, personal trainer, massage therapist. I mean, you're like the everything kind of guy, man. So tell us a little bit about, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about quantum touch or anything else that you may want to hit in. But I want to focus a little bit in on quantum touch. Tell us about that and what kinds of impact that has on people.
Well, it's changed lives, and I was fortunate enough to be part of it, and I'm glad to share. And you guys are ready for the truth? I'm going to tell you the truth.
Well, that's what we want here.
Well, quantum
Nothing
touch,
but the truth.
Quantum touch is a life force energy, and it's a basic energy that we all have, and we usually don't use. But I was actually went to a class I had to take because to keep my credits for massage.
Okay.
And it was called Quantum Touch, and I had no idea what it was. And I went there, and it was very expensive, and it was a 2-day course. And I'm looking out the window, going, "What the heck?" Because they're talking you're talking a bunch of guys that look like extremely healthy people, and I'm a jock, and they're thin, and I'm large, and they're but anyway, 2 minutes in the class, they're asking for volunteers, and my lower back was screaming because of my I do some heavy lifting.
Okay.
So I raised both hands and said, "Hey, I'm ready to get fixed no matter who you are." So they worked on me for a total of 10 minutes. And I stood up, my back was adjusted, and I said, "I don't know what this is, but I'm going to learn it." And because the Lord has given me a gift, and because of quantum touch, I now have healed from cancer. Virtually everything is healable.
Wow. Well, I know you work with the entire body, right? Because I've heard some of the stories, and I know you've done a lot of great work here for us at Zenus with the people that you worked with here. So tell us a little bit about what you specialize in.
Well, quantum says that the spine and the neck is 1 and 2. I have made an art form of the shoulder. So the shoulder is not a challenge anymore, and we can talk about some things about that if you'd like to now.
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit about the shoulder.
Okay, we had a couple gentlemen at the gym, Matt and Oscar. They see humans all the time, and there's a lady who's who brought energy into the valley. She's a Reiki master for 25 years, and they brought to my attention that she needed help, and she's in a sling, but she's down. She's got to train all the time, but she's in a sling and she's going to have surgery. Well, Oscar and Matt said, go see Tim, he'll fix you. So she didn't know what quantum touch was.
Okay.
Because there's a couple hundred Reiki masters. There's
right.
me. I'm the only one that's quantum touch.
Wow.
So
when you say the only one, you mean the only one here in Las Vegas?
the only one in the valley.
Okay.
There's several hundred in California and Hawaii. They're throughout the world.
Okay.
But I set up a thing with her that we would do a trade out, and in 6 sessions she was back working out again, and she told me that if you can fix this, it would be the impossible. During that session, one of her sessions after I fixed her, she said she was having allergy problems. She was in dire need with her lungs. Can you fix my lungs? Tim, you're incredible. Let's see what you can do. So I fixed her lungs in 2 sessions, and it seems to be quite effective for several people since then. So I've been given the gift, and I'm glad to share it, and hopefully I work more and more on the youth and the elderly, and I can keep a smile on my face on helping others.
Wow. Well, I know that you are totally into service. And Ken, I want to go over to you for a second. Ken Feinberg. And now that I've got a chance to see you like every couple of Sundays in a row now working out, so it's pretty exciting. But I know that when you were here a few weeks ago, you talked a little bit about your experience. And so if you don't mind, tell us, I mean, we've heard from Tim, but tell us how you know Tim and what he's done for you.
Well, okay. Be glad to, Randy. I've known Tim for, believe it or not, over 30 years. And he was more of an acquaintance. We knew each other from the gym.
Okay.
I was a trainer in a couple of different gyms, and he was a member. It probably should have been the other way around, but because of the shape he's in. But, he was always a nice guy, and I knew he was from Southern California. I had been an acquaintance for him, and we see each other throughout the years. And then a couple of years ago, we started to become friends. And Tim started to tell me a little bit about quantum touch. And I was like, wait a minute. This energy business is a little bit, it's weird and strange. But finally, it probably took a year, and he finally broke me down, and I got to see him. But I've got to explain a little bit. I've had problems on and off for many years. I was a minor league baseball player. I had injuries from baseball, injuries from lifting weights, just aches and pains and other things, and some were very acute. Go to chiropractors. They help you at the moment, but they didn't really do anything lasting, and I thought, well, I'm just wasting my money here. You go to a massage therapist, great, feel great. There's nothing like a massage, but then the next day, those acute pains are still there. And I had such a problem with my neck, and I told you folks that night, I had to look to the left. I had to bend over and turn my head, remember?
Yes.
And well, now you can see I can move my neck around.
Okay.
But finally he broke me down, and I said, well, what have I got to lose? And he's my friend, so why not?
Okay.
And
After a year.
And he probably thought I wasn't his friend. Like, what? Kenny thinks I'm crazy, But I didn't think you were crazy, Tim. I just thought, this is just weird, okay? And as much as I like, we're both from Southern Cal. We both have that slow talk and laid back way about us. But I still said, well, listen, Tim's really passionate about this. Let's give it a shot. And, I won't go into the great details of it, but I'll just tell you this. During the sessions, I felt very little, if anything, different than a regular massage where they're working you, where you're feeling it.
Okay.
But the energy was going into me, and I didn't know it. And I thought, oh, this is good. I feel a little bit better, Tim. But he said, wait till tomorrow. And tomorrow came, and I was way better. And then after a few sessions, my neck turned around 100%, both sides of the neck. I had pinched nerves in both necks because of lifting too much or lifting mistakes and that sort of thing. But I've had other issues. When you've been a beaten down baseball player, and I was skinny, I wasn't really built for it. You play 140 straight days in the minor leagues. It's a grind. And I had injuries, but Tim has helped me with so many of them. And then, I'll just share this little funny thing with you guys. I hadn't seen Tim in the last few months, and my arm, I'm starting to get tendonitis in my arm pretty bad, but I haven't had time to see Tim.
Okay.
See him at the gym occasionally, and then, I was asked to speak, and I spoke and told everybody about how great my neck was. And the next day I was lifting something, and I lifted it wrong, and my neck went out of whack again. And I said, Tim, you got any time soon? And he said, sure, come on over. And he said, and I said, but my arm's bothering me too. And then he said he only put 20 minutes into my neck, and he put 40 minutes into my arm, and my arm was in bad shape. I couldn't curl.
Wow.
Like half the weight of my right arm, and terrible pain. And I didn't feel anything. I said, Tim, thank you. I didn't feel anything. But I said, but I know I will tomorrow because I've had experiences with him. And the next day my neck was great, and my arm is way better. I still need 1 or 2 more sessions with him. Sometimes it's a gradual thing. I guess I only know my experiences.
Right.
Most of the time it takes a few sessions to fix me. But it's amazing to me. And I'm here to speak because he's my buddy and because it's real.
Wow, that's pretty interesting because, Tim, I want to come back to you for a second. I'm sure you run across this so much that people just kind of don't believe that, hey, like you were talking about, it's like, okay, I'm quantum touch and I'm going to touch you, and then all of a sudden you're going to, so what do you do? How do you go about?
Do you want me to demonstrate?
If you like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
This is all, I'm a shoulder master now.
Okay.
Anybody that's a pro athlete is not using me is making a mistake because you don't need a surgery.
Okay.
I have fixed now 25 different shoulders, but can I show him without?
You show him, yeah. Just try to yell into his mic if you need to so people can hear you.
Okay. Now I prepped his head. His head's open. Now that takes about, 3 minutes? Okay. Now I'm running, quantum's belief is there's 12 colors in each cell. Now you're lacking a color. It could be emotional or something that's lacking. So I put all 12 colors into him through my hands. My body, it's in me.
Okay.
And I throw those colors into him. Now his brain says, dude, you got a problem. Let's fix it. His brain does the work.
Okay.
I'm just the middleman.
Okay. So you're the instrument that's facilitating.
Okay. That's the truth.
Okay.
And it's simple as that. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I worked at it. I've had people that were very much gone and brought them back, and that belief in me and my positive thoughts, I'm assuming, was, and I can cure anything. And you have feelings in your head that when I have my third eye cranking, I think I can fix anything.
Okay. So for some of us who don't really understand what you just said, when you have your third eye cranking, what does that really mean? So what are you really opening up to have that be a reality?
Well, you've got energy 4 different levels above you, and you're asking the Lord for help.
Okay.
And you got energy below your feet. And when you have everything working, you can fix the cancer. It gets emotional.
Okay. Well, we're glad that you're here with us and that people have had the experience to share your gifts with us. And you do that so freely. And we have another guest here, Tana Kane. And she's just started working with you, just had a couple of sessions and kind of came in tonight. And we said, ooh, you're here. Let's see what happens. And Tana, if you don't mind, tell us what your experience has been with Timothy.
Okay. Well, I have been in the nutritional world for over 30 years, and I have dealt with a lot of so-called healers and therapists, and I was introduced to Timothy just last week, and tomorrow's my third session. I came into him, and I have issues with lupus, and my entire body was so sore, I can't even describe it. And it's kind of like I told Timothy, it was like somebody took a rubber hose and hit me all over my body.
Wow.
And I went in, and he started with my head and then my feet, and then he works on the entire body, but doesn't move his hands, and just goes from place to place. After he's like on your shoulders, he will be there for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and then work on your back. And then I have a really bad leg, and I hobble on my right leg. And tonight I was doing pretty good. I was walking pretty good. But I noticed that as the day went on, I was improving more and more and more and this happened today, as a matter of fact. This was my second session. And as the day went on, I felt better. I had energy. And because the lupus I have is similar to a fibromyalgia. And you have absolutely no energy. Sometimes it takes everything in you to walk across the room. And I just feel so good tonight, I can't tell you. And I'm looking forward to another treatment tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
I should say a session.
Session, okay.
It's more of a session, yeah, because I had a lot of treatments. I went to physical therapy for my leg 4 days a week, and they worked on me for an hour to hour and a half. And very, very, very painful, very painful. With Timothy's sessions, there's no pain. And you let him do the work, through his energy fields, and he just does a wonderful job. I'm just amazed how I feel tonight. It's great.
Wow. Well, I have to tell you, I'm really thrilled to have both of you here. And Tim, I see him often here in the office as he comes by and works on people. But the thing that really makes it all work is that just being around the two of you, I know that you're kind of in that space that if it wasn't real, you would let everybody in the world know it wasn't real.
Yep.
That's right.
There's no question about that, right?
Yep.
And so to know that, so this is for those skeptics and those doubters that, sometimes you just have to experience things. There's a lot of different healing modalities, a lot of different things. That I lived in California for a while, and I came from the East Coast, and I did everything that you could possibly think of. If they said it would do something, timeline therapy, you name it, I was there, right? I wanted to experience it. And what I found was occasionally something really, really worked. So Tim, finally, we're gonna get out of here in a minute, but what I want to ask you is something, because I think it's kind of interesting, and I just wanted to get your take on this in terms of when you look at quantum touch, and I know we don't want to do comparisons to other things, so I'm not talking about it from that aspect, but give me a little feedback in terms of if I was looking at quantum touch and some other energy healings like, Reiki or something along those lines, what would be some of the unique differences that you would... I
heard this on the tape this morning because I was going over the quantum, and your number one speaker, which of course I forgot his name, but they compare a flashlight to a pin light on Reiki. Now Reiki is considered the top of the hill, and you have about 6 different energies that go on in this valley, and I'm number 1, and according to the Reiki masters and according to Herbally Grounded, I am the only one that can fix limbs. And so, like I said, thanks for the man upstairs that I can continue helping kids. It's just, I'm very grateful to have learned this, and I hope, I'm going to share it the rest of my life.
Wow. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming in. This is only the first part of our show. For those of you who are going to be with us, we'll have part 2 in a second. But before we leave, I want to make sure that any of you who want to reach Tim or Timothy, or what was the other name you had for him?
Timmy,
whichever one he's feeling, please go to www.sportsenergyhealing.com. www.sportsenergyhealing.com. And so again, I want to thank your guests. I want to thank you, Tim, for coming in this wonderful evening. And we'll be back in 30 seconds.